Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. I let you love what I thought it was funny.
It is the savage nation. The world is burning. The Marxists are ruling. London, tuberculosis capital of Western Europe as a result of immigration. The United States of America, Red Cross bans Christmas to not offend Muslims. Dateline, Austria, man fined for yodeling in Austria because it offends Muslims. Dateline, Karachi, terrorists captured. Dateline, New York, subway bomber captured. Dateline, anywhere on earth, Islamofascism is on the rise, and the West is in demise. 1-800-449-8255, michaelsavage.com. And you want unlimited immigration. You want unlimited immigration while London is now the tuberculosis capital of the Western world. I wrote a book, I wrote an essay back in 1980 entitled Immigrants and Epidemics. I had intended to make it into a book. But even after a career that at that time consisted of about 16 books in the field of health, none of my New York publishers or others would touch that book because they said it would be very, very offensive to talk about the fact that immigrants were coming in with diseases. I said, but wait a minute, my grandfather was an immigrant. He had to go through Ellis Island. Didn't you see The Godfather where Don Corleone had some kind of illness and he had to sit it out in what would he call it, a little room. He had to wait it out till the disease was cured. Yeah, but not anymore. That doesn't apply because we have morons running the world. We have morons running the Western world where immigrants are now given more rights than the folks who are citizens. And now as a result, various immigrant groups have brought illnesses into the West, such as tuberculosis, which has now made London the TB capital of Western Europe. The number of people infected with TB has jumped by 50% in London in the last decade. Now, where do you think it came from? Why would it go up rather than go down? Why would it go up rather than go down? Well, you have to read on into the article to know where the white plague is coming from. You see, TB was once known as the white plague because of the loss of skin color in patients, not for any racial reasons. What you also don't know is that tuberculosis was virtually wiped out after the introduction of drugs and vaccinations in the 1960s. But it has surged in recent years, including drug-resistant strains, because of people who have been born overseas and who have arrived in England and have spread the disease. Now, of course, the liars in London are saying the rise in TB has nothing to do with migration and immigrants. That is because they're trying to distort science and medicine itself. The fact of the matter is, it's directly related to immigrants and their epidemics. I realize that this is not a topic you care to talk about prior to Christmas, so I'll give you another little story to talk about. When I was reviewing the articles that have been posted on michaelsavage.com this morning, the one that struck me the most insane came out of Austria. An Austrian man aged 63, a man on a pension, was sued by Muslim neighbors for yodeling in Austria. That's right. Okay, they got the flavor of what a yodel is. That's a yodel. Traditional. It was used to communicate from hill to dale. But you see, the folks from Islamicville don't like yodeling. They say it interferes with their prayer to God or whatever, their prayer to Allah and their Muslim prayers, and then yodeling should be outlawed. And a judge in Austria actually ruled against a man from Austria and said his yodeling was racist. Washington, D.C., Obama adopts UN manifesto on rights of indigenous peoples. Obama announced the U.S. would reverse the position of the Bush administration, and become the last nation to drop its opposition to a declaration on the rights of indigenous peoples. I have no idea what that means. Tell me what the rights of indigenous peoples are and what it means. Does anyone know what that means? It means they're going to shake you down for money, even though you had nothing to do with anything that happened to indigenous peoples 200 years ago. Okay?